What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here. Be sure to give this video a huge thumbs up. Like us on Facebook and Twitter to ask us questions and to receive news on the channel. Links for both will be in the description below. And last, be sure to tick that subscribe button to join our team, but more importantly, to join our family. Alright guys, see ya.
But now that you're gone, I can fly.
What is up, guys? It is your LOL support here, and today we're going to be bringing you guys a Diana guide. That's right, we're going to be playing Diana in the mid lane. Now, let me explain what made me pick Diana. Now, a lot of the time recently, I've been just playing a lot of off-topic mid laners, or off-meta mid laners, and that has led me to kind of do it out of habit now. Like, I'd play mid lane Sona, things like that. But now, since Ethan kind of got mad at me, I'm going back to basic, strong mid laners, and I picked Diana and Ahri. And of the two, I kind of like Diana just a little bit better. And the reason being because her damage output is crazy. And all of her abilities scale so well with AP anyways that you'd kind of be a fool not to play her. But without further ado, let's get into her abilities. Her passive, Moon Silver Blade. Every third attack, you will get an increased attack which will cleave enemies in an AoE in front of you. And this scales 20, 25, 30, 35, all the way up to 250, depending on your level. And also it has 15 plus 5, 10, 15, 20, and 25 each level. And this also scales with 80% AP. Meaning this is going to do a lot of damage. This is going to do a lot of damage to champions, which is why you're going to want to work this into your combo for doing damage to the enemy. Your next ability is Crescent Strike, and Crescent Strike scales very well with AP actually, and it scales 70% with AP. And you throw your blade in a crescent-shaped pattern. Now, a little tip for landing those. Let me go back here to 25. Okay, so right there, as you can see, the thickness of the moons, the Crescent Strike is thickest here, and it also has a little AoE right here. So it's always good to throw your little Crescent Strike behind the enemy compared to trying to throw it at them, because they could just walk backwards. However, if you throw it this way, if they walk back, they're hit. If they walk to the left, they're hit. The only way they could dodge it is by standing still or walking to the right. So if you're playing against a Diana, always rock to the right to dodge your blade. But if you're playing a Diana, always throw it behind them so you have an increased chance of hitting them. And this ability also marks them with Moonlight, and Moonlight will be important later on when we discuss her ultimate. Her next ability, Pale Cascade. This is an active shield that has 3 orbs around you, and should all 3 of those orbs be hit, or should all 3 of those orbs hit an enemy champion, you are granted an additional shield, and that additional shield will shield you just a little bit more, you know what I mean? So right here, I'm going to see if I can activate the shield, and I do right there. You see one of the orbs hit the turret, however the other 2 did not, so I was not granted that additional shield. And each orb does 20% AP, and it does fair amount of damage at maximum damage if you hit all 3. And the shield strength is significant as well. It scales 60% with AP, 30% without the orbs being popped. So if you get all of the orbs popped at 60%, if you get all the orbs popped, your shield will grant you 60% AP, which is fantastic to have. So right here, just getting ganked by the Wukangus, forced to flash out. Try and throw the blade to maybe land a hit on him so that I could have got the turret kill, but oh well. Her next ability is Moonfall. Moonfall is an ability that pulls enemies around you, towards you, kind of like a mini Orianna ult. I tend not to pick a level in that until level 7, however I did end up picking up a level in it just because I was getting ganked and I didn't know if I would be able to bait out a turret kill by pulling them closer to the turret. So I did end up leveling that there, but usually I won't level that till level 7. That's not set in stone. That's not like, oh, Bigum's told us never to level this till 7. I'm not going to level this. If you need to level something, level it. Don't take everything I say for set stone and concrete. You know, if the situation calls for it, do it. Just level it. Okay? But and it also slows enemies that are pulled by 35, 40, 45, 50, and 55%, which is a significant slow. But the reason I don't max it is just because the mana cost is so high relative to the amount of utility that it brings. It doesn't do damage. It just slows, but for the slow at early levels, it's a pretty high mana cost, and you don't really have that much mana with her to begin with. So that's why I tend not to take an ability toward till level 7. And her ultimate is Lunar Rush, and she dashes towards an enemy champion, dealing 100, 160, or 220 magic damage, scaling with 60% AP. Now if the enemy is marked by Moonlight right there, which let me go into this combo. Right there, okay. So, should an enemy be marked by Moonlight, your ultimate will not go on cooldown. It will not go on cooldown if you dash to an enemy that has Moonlight on it. It will refresh, and you will get a second proc of it. Okay, so, right here, I know that I'm going to hit level 6 off of the next couple minions. So what I do is I throw my Q, and you notice I've been throwing Qs all game just to kind of harass down the Heimerdinger, just because it scales so well with AP, and it's pretty efficient mana-wise. So I'm just throwing a bunch of Qs, and I know I'm going to hit 6 here, so I throw my Q, wait for the next couple minions to die, and once I hit 6 off of this little minion right here, wait for it. Oh, not that one. Next one. Sorry. But I know that I'm going to hit 6 soon, basically. So what I do is I'm just trying to make sure that he's marked by Moonlight when I hit 6. So I see that there's a bunch of low health minions. I throw it out. I get that minion kill. And right here, I start the shield, level my ultimate, dash in, get the reset on my ultimate, and I'm able to get Moonlight pulling closer to me, ignite, and the last shield was able to hit on a turret, and that granted me an additional shield so that I could absorb some of the damage, and I was able to pick up the kill. Level 6 with Diana is very, very significant if your enemy laner is either squishy and below 50% health. Those are the kind of two criteria I think about when using her and trying to go all in. Once you get your ultimate, good harass combo is QWR. So QWR, but you don't follow up the ultimate with another ultimate or with Moonlight, which is her pull ability, or Moonfall. Sorry. But you don't follow with Moonfall. You just Q, ult, use your shield, and the additional shield that you get, use that to walk back through minions, so that you don't take a lot of damage from the minions. So it's kind of like, that's your harass combo, and if you decide to go all in, obviously use Moonfall and then your second cast of the ultimate. But I usually don't do that until they're either 35 to 45% health, or if I have my needlessly large rod. So right here I noticed that my Skarner is in a bit of trouble, so we're going to kind of speed this up. We're just kind of pushing them away, showing them like, hey, I'm here, I can do damage, back up. But I am able to pick up this blue buff. Thank you, Skarner. I'm going to speed this back up. Now you see I get back into mid lane, go back to farming right there, pull him in. I noticed that I didn't have the damage output that I thought I did, plus also he used his ultimate on a turret, and I know how much damage those turrets do, and I didn't want to lose my blue buff. So I just simply back out of there. But I did use my Moonfall because I thought, you know what, I might be able to get this, but his ultimate did proc, and I was not able to get the kill. So just poking him down, getting as much damage as I can off of him with my Qs, and continuously farming. And you see on my first base I picked up a blasting wand. The way I start this game is I usually get flask and either 2 health potions, 1 mana, or 2 mana, 1 health potion, and that just depends on the lane. If I'm going to be harassing a lot more with Qs, like say if they're immobile or if they're very squishy, I'm going to harass a lot with Qs, I'll start with 2 mana potions. but if they have surprisingly high damage output, I will missing the cannon. I will actually bring 2 health, 1 mana. And the flask does a fantastic job of keeping me alive. Right here, I outplay myself. I thought I guess I thought he was gonna flash towards the bush. Like, I saw the flash icon, and I thought he went to the bush, but apparently Skarner picked him up and grabbed him, so I was not able to pick up the kill. Right there, I was just telling Skarner, I'm sorry, I'm the worst, I'm not worthy, I don't deserve to play this game, but Heimer did end up living, but he will not live next time. So that was able to even up the kills in lane. He did end up picking up a Seeker's Arm Guard, however that's not going to do much against me. So I did pick up my Blasting Wand. I'm going to base here, and usually on my first base, if I have money, I like to pick up a Blasting Wand and Boots. However, since I didn't have enough money on the first base, since I had a base a little bit early, I only picked up the Blasting Wand. So right here I did not have enough for my needlessly large rod, so I will end up picking up the Sork Boots for the increased move speed and Magic Pen in case I need to roam, and a couple health potions just to survive in lane. So another thing I like to do with Diana is I just like to kind of stay passive until I get my needlessly large rod. Obviously if kill potential is there, I'm gonna go for it, but I don't actively seek it. Like, I don't dash onto the enemy at full health unless I have my needlessly large rod, just because it's not guaranteed that you're going to get a lot of damage off before the needlessly large rod, in my opinion. And I also like to free farm the little Wraithy Poos. Okay, so, yeah, I like to farm the little Wraithy Poos. Gets me a little bit more gold, and you take no damage from it since your shield mitigates all the damage, so it's kind of like free. It's a free Wraith with no health sacrifice. So right here, let's slow this down. I do get ganked here, but I am able to turn this gank around and turn it into my favor. So Wukong dashes in, I flash it, but instead of panicking, I start at my shield right now. So right now, all this damage that he did is getting slightly mitigated by the shield, and I'm just throwing in auto attacks, and I did Moonfall as well. However, Wukong got a little bit too close to turret. I wanted to try and bait that out, and my shield was taking a lot more damage than he thought it would. So I was able to survive that and pick up another kill for myself. And you see I threw out the Crescent, or I threw out Crescent Strike and then dashed. So we ended up getting out of that thing A-okay. And we were able to pick up another kill, so that's always good. And just throwing in more Qs. Right there, I did not have the damage output that I thought I would to kill him, but I wanted to try at least. And you notice I had one more dash of my ultimate because I was able to land a Q on him first compared to landing it after I dashed. So I used that second dash as an escape to a minion to avoid any further harass and get out of that situation alive. So if you're ever in trouble with Diana, especially running through the jungle, if you Q through a wall to say wraiths or wolves or something like that, you can actually dash to the wraith and the wolf and have the cooldown refreshed, and it's a good way to kind of like, I guess, like Lee Sin, wall hop, stuff like that. It's a good way to do that. So always be aware of if the camp's up and just Q an ultimate to it, and you should be able to get out of most situations. So another hint I can give you guys with Diana is know when her passive third attack is up, and then try and go in on the enemy while that's up, because that's going to be a significant amount of damage. And if you also build Lickbane, it's going to be doing more damage on top of that, which is amazing. So right here, just going back, farming up the wraiths. As you can see, my shield is tanking a lot of damage, and there's really no consequence. No really consequence for doing wraiths. I mean, you don't take a lot of health loss. It's kind of like a Mordekaiser doing wraiths. You know, you don't really take a lot of damage, which is nice. Which allows you to free farm wraiths. So kind of dodging all the skill shots, throwing out Qs, and I'm debating on going in now just because I know how much damage my Q is going to do on the next one. But the minion wave is a little big, so we're going to wait for that. Let's see if we can get all three of these, and we are because of our passive. So let's speed this up just a little bit. I am going to be going for a kill potential soon. I am getting blood hungry. And that's another thing you want to do with Diana. Once you hit level 6, you gotta start growing a set and just going all in, you know. And right there, I hit level 2 on my ultimate, and that's gonna be a power spike for me that I have over the Heimadang. So we're gonna be waiting around for this. When I hit level 11, I want to go in because my ultimate's gonna do level 2 ultimate damage. I really want to go in and take advantage of that. So always keep an eye on your ultimate level. So level 6, level 11, those are really good power spikes during the laning phase to go all in. Right there, Wukong almost got me, but he did not, sadly. I was able to see him coming in, and we ended up being able to dodge that. Right here, Sconner's like, yo, I'm going mad mode. And I said, okay, sir. And then we were able to get the kill. And we're going to push out this lane just a bit more, and we're going to get some damage off on the Torito. And we're going to back out and see if we do end up staying in lane. Just continuously farming. It's important to farm with Diana, stay relevant. I know. Sorry. I know that when you start getting a lot of kills with the champion, it gets kind of easy to forget about farming and to stay relevant in farm. But you gotta make sure that you do it. So I do base, I pick up my needlessly large rod, and I was debating whether I wanted to complete a Zhonya's first or do my deathcap first, and I chose the deathcap. And I know some of you guys are like, why are you building deathcap? Because you have no AP for the passive on the deathcap to work. Well, I am running scaling AP, so past level 8, I'm going to be getting more AP than had I run just flat AP. So I'm past level 8, and now I'm going to start scaling a lot better. So this is where my damage curve is increased by a lot. So as you can see right there, just I kind of make short work of the Heimerdinger now, and it's really a snowballed lane. So right here, I'm going to explain this to you guys. So Wukong, pause it. Okay, so Wukong is coming in through my lane right here. So this turret spots him. So rather than panic and be like, oh, he's coming, I better run. I know my damage, I know what I can do, and I know that I can take out this turret. So what I'm going to do is, I know how Wukong's attack. Wukong's, when they attack, they decoy in, and they think, oh, I'm going to get him here. So I see the Wukong stop, and all I do is I wait. Right when I see him come up, I throw my Crescent Strike, Moonfall him towards me so I can get the third proc of my shield off, and as you can see, all of his ultimate was used on my shield. So right here, just throwing down the auto attacks, got the first ultimate and then the second ultimate right there. So that was a very easy kill that had I been paranoid and ran away from, I would not have gotten. But since I knew my damage output, and I knew how the enemy moves and how the enemy attacks, I was able to pick up a very easy kill there. So that's an example of just knowing your enemies, knowing the matchups, and playing accordingly. So we're going to speed this up. I pick up another needlessly large rod. I'm going to be trying to complete the at least 2 out of the 3 high damage AP items. That is Deathfire Grasp, Zhonya's, and Deathcap. And just because I'm so far ahead and I want to snowball myself even further, I probably should have picked up Medjai's, but oh well, hindsight 2020, I guess. So right here, told my team, hey, I want some gator shoes. So I'm going to come up to top lane, try and fight this guy. This is Diana's strong point. You get mid tower and you just roam the tits off of everything. So right here, I knew he was in there. I didn't know if he was going to stun me, so I just pop a ward in, walk back. I throw my Crescent Blade. The second I miss Crescent Strike, I realize, you know what, I'm not going to go in and fight him like this just yet. So what I do is I come here, I start auto attacking the minions so I can build up my passive. So I throw down my shield, and all 3 of them proc on the minions, so I get my 60% AP shield, which is going off of 346 AP, so it's going to be shielding me for quite a bit. And because I built up my passive, watch this damage. Look at that. That's a good amount of damage on the auto attack. And he was not expecting that type of damage. So if you ever miss your blade like that, or your Crescent Strike, just start getting your passive up on a minion. Or you can do that before you go in. So right there, I was able to pick up the kill. So lesson number 1, if you miss, try and build up your passive, because your passive does a lot of damage. So coming back into my mid lane, farming up, trying to see if I can catch anybody out here. We do end up picking up the hammer, or we don't pick up the hammer, but we're just trying to be a nuisance everywhere I go, trying to be everywhere and anywhere so that people are afraid of the map and afraid of just walking around. So that's your job as Diana. Roam and install fear on your enemy, because you're going to have a lot of damage. So I do end up picking up the Seeker's Arm Guard, and I will be building that into Zoni's Hourglass, which will help me, once I get into the fight, to stay in there with the little active on it and allow my team to start distracting after I had already dove in and done a lot of my burst damage. And it also helps getting my cooldowns back as well. So we're just kind of pushing up mid lane, creating some sort of pressure so that our bot lane can push or our top lane can push. So we're gonna speed this up a little bit. All I'm doing is just farming. Right here, I want to go on the Caitlyn. I'm telling them, yo, this is free, just go for it. It is warded though, and I spend just a bit too much time just waiting around, and she's able to caliber net me, and that just stops my advance completely. So, example of just not clearing out wards. So because we put pressure in bot lane, we already know, like, okay, there's gonna be the infantry is coming towards us now. The backup is coming. So we kind of back off a little bit. Cybernectin's in mid, so a big tank of theirs is not next to us. So we know that they're gonna do dragon, so we try and ward over the wall. And I thought maybe if I could get my if I could get my ultimate off on somebody who has Moonlight, I could probably stop the dragon, but no one was standing next to the wall, so we were not able to do anything with that. So our support gets picked off. We're forced to back off a little bit, but we will be back for more. We will be back, don't you worry. So I'm going to base, pick up the Zonia's Hourglass, and just kind of switch everything around so that the actives on my items are a little bit easier. But I did pick up that, and the next thing I'll pick up is probably my Abyssal Scepter. Diana does really well with an Abyssal Scepter, and I know, right here, just the easy kill on the Heimerdinger. I know a lot of you guys are thinking right now, like, oh, why aren't you building Rod of Ages? I just don't prefer Rod of Ages on Diana. I mean, I know it's good, don't get me wrong, I definitely know it's good buy, it makes her tanky, but I just don't prefer, it doesn't suit my playstyle, let's say that. My playstyle is get kills early and snowball, and then hopefully after that I should be good. If you get the Rod of Ages doesn't become Rod of Ages until like 15 or so minutes after you purchase the item. That's a guess. I mean, I know I'm probably gonna get a couple comments saying it's actually 16.2 minutes. I'm just taking a shot in the dark, but all I'm saying is it's not gonna translate to immediate damage, and that's what you need as Diana in the early game, is just immediate damage to get yourself snowballing, which is why I go for the early blasting wand compared to, say, the catalyst or something like that, which is really why I like to build that. And I know I could just build the blasting wand into the Rod of Ages, but like I said, I just prefer the high damage output early to get myself going. So some of you guys can take that into your repertoire and stop building Rod of Ages. Some of you are gonna be like, nope, he's wrong, and gonna keep building Rod of Ages. Whatever works for you is what works for you. You know, this is just a Diana guide on how I personally play Diana. So if you like it, use it, you know? But I just noticed that it gets me snowballing in a lot of games. And with the 80 and 70% scaling on your passive and Q respectively, it's too high not to get a lot of AP. That's my reason. So I do pick up the blasting wand, and that's going to be turning into my Abyssal Scepter. I'm going to speed this up, continuously farming. I see if I can maybe help him out here. I try and bait out this Wukong, but he is able to see me, and Wu Kangas just gets away. So we're going to speed this up, just farming out the white camp, and decide, you know what, I'm just going to come in here and help him push out lane. And we're going to go up, push the next wave. Again, just using our Crescent Strike and our passive to farm, not using too much of our resources as far as mana is concerned. So we're going to base, pick up home guards, so we can get out of base faster and get out there for more kills. So I see the Renekton. He probably should have fought me here just because he's level 17 and he has a Spirit Visage and I'm level 16 and I don't have any penetration other than my boots. So it might have been a good fight for him to pick, but he didn't end up picking it, so oh well. So we're gonna go in, we're pushing out top tower, and right here I get a little greedy. I think to myself, you know what, I'm 7-0, I don't think that they can fight me. So we end up trying to bait out this Renekton, but we end up doing this really badly. You see I tank a lot of tower aggro, and so does Nasus. I dive straight in with no mana, with no resource to cast anything. So I'm forced to use my Zonias, and I do end up dying to him. And although Renekton does end up dying, he is able to pick up a double kill. So that's an example of me just being greedy and being 7-0, thinking I'm God and trying to do things, and it just becomes stupid. Like you don't really do anything properly. Like if you get too egotistical with your gameplay. But oh well. I did end up picking up the Void Staff instead of the Abyssal Scepter just because I noticed that I wasn't getting in a lot of fights where I had a lot of people around me, so I couldn't really utilize the Abyssal Scepter's AoE drop in MR. But and also I wasn't taking a lot of AP damage from any of their team. Like Heimerdinger's not doing any damage to me. The only person I really have to worry about is Renekton, so I'd rather go for the armor or the magic pen from Void Staff compared to that of Abyssal Scepter. And it's a little cheaper too, so it's a little bit more gold efficient for what I need out of it. Had Heimer been doing damage, I might have picked up Abyssal first compared to Void. But right here, I don't know what the Alistar was thinking, but he just got exploded, so that's fine by me. 2 more kills. Right there, I got greedy. I wanted to take on the Heimer, but I ended up taking too much tower damage, and I'm forced to base. So come out of base with the home guards, just make quick work of him. And that's a nice thing about Diana. If you play her right, there really shouldn't be any team fights in the game, just because you're picking everybody off so that there is no need to have one, I guess you could say. But it's all about snowballing with her. If you're a jungler and you're playing with a Diana in mid lane, get her going, because she is one of the best mid laners to just hold her own. But yep, that's my job. As you can see, I'm just picking up heavy AD. I was about to kill that Heimerdinger, but his rockets end up hitting me. Skarner just barely moved out of the way, and I do end up dying there. But that is pretty much the end of this guide. Ended up 9-2 and 5. And my team is about to end this game in a couple minutes. I really hope you enjoyed it. I really enjoyed playing Diana, and I guarantee if you guys start playing her, you're going to feel the same way. Just the damage output that she has and the aggressive playstyle that she has just meshed so well with me. I love being the aggressor. I love making, fast action plays, and it's just really what I like doing. And you see right there, I pick up the Abyssal Scepter for the increased penetration. But we're going to try and finish off this game. But I really hope you guys enjoyed this guide. I apologize that I'm a little bit late today on the upload. I recorded this guide, I did the commentary, I did everything, but hang on. This is a good kill on the Caitlyn. I flash in, Q, start my shield, and just boom, exploded. But going back to it, I did end up commentating on everything. But then I found out the aspect ratios on the video when it was recorded were off, and it was the wrong video file. So this is actually my second time doing this, not including all the takes that I had to do to get here. So I apologize for being late, guys, but boom! Yeah, sorry. I apologize for being late. However, I really do hope that this guide was good enough to make up for that. Thank you guys so much for being an awesome community. I really do appreciate it. And future plans, we are going to be uploading twice a week now on Mondays and Fridays, both at noon. So we are going to be getting more videos out. I'm going to try and also set up kind of like a daily video thing. We're not sure how we're going to do it, whether we're going to play a series. Maybe like, say, we'll play Minecraft or something like that. We're not too sure. We just want to get videos out to you guys every day so that you guys have something to watch and something to keep you guys entertained on this channel, because you guys have been so awesome with us. So, and I'm also streaming a lot more, so feel free to follow my Twitch, twitch.tv/BoozerBlow, BoozerBlo. Link will be in the description below. And thank you guys one more time for being so damn awesome and waiting for us as we finished throughout finals week. And we did a pretty good job in finals week. Got an A and 3B, or 3 A's and 1 B. So hell yes, we're doing it big. But without anything else to say, this has been your LOL support, and I am out of here.